tell us in short how Bit Sentinel was born and then CyberEDU, a spin-off project, let's say. Tell us a bit about both sides of the business, cybersecurity business.
Yes, Bit Sentinel was actually born in 2015 as a need of the market, because back then everybody heard about cybersecurity, but there weren't so many cybersecurity companies focused especially on providing cybersecurity services, only corporations, which are very expensive. So we said, okay, and everybody knew us from DevCamp, because myself together with Andrei Avădanei, we also organized DevCamp, the largest cybersecurity conference from Romania and the CEE. So we said, okay, now it's time to also make a company, create a company, and be able to provide cybersecurity services, because DevCamp is organized under an NGO. So we couldn't mix both sides, and this is how Bit Sentinel was born. Right now we have a large team of very talented people. If I'm not mistaken, currently we are almost 20, so we are growing a lot because everybody wants and needs cybersecurity. And about CyberEDU also, it was with Bit Sentinel, we try to cover all sides of the cybersecurity. So when we realized that it's very difficult, not to say impossible, to find cybersecurity experts, we said, okay, we cannot find like very skilled people on the market, so let's train them. And what is the easiest way to do that? Create a platform and try to make everything very hands-on related. So you can train the future experts, especially with real-life scenarios, with everything that we face every day. So this is how CyberEDU was born. One of the reasons, of course, because there is a very big list.
What attracted you to this world, to the idea of being yourself a startup founder? And do you remember when you first heard about this concept of startups and startup founders?
First of all, I would say that it's very difficult. It's not that pink as everybody imagines it. For me, it was a very, let's say, familiar notion, the startup founder, because I've used to organize startup events all over the world. So I've seen startups struggling, I've seen startup failing, I've seen startups succeeding, and it's always like, it depends a lot on the timing when you launch the startup, on the team, because if you don't have the perfect team for it, it's a bit challenging, to say the least. And what's the most important, don't expect to be easy, because it's not. Yeah, eventually, if you're a successful startup, you will get to make a lot of money, but nobody mentions the nights you lose or the long hours you spend on working, because yeah, everybody is focused on the results and not that much on the journey until there. But with us, it was very natural. We always, I say we because Andrei is the founder of Bit Sentinel, and he's also the co-founder of CyberEDU. And we work like side by side. And yeah, it's very good to have someone to rely on and to work with, and to like go in the same direction, because by yourself it's a bit more challenging.
What did you find most, let's say, challenging, if not difficult, when creating and when building Bit Sentinel, and also now with CyberEDU? It's also cybersecurity, but with a learning component. So I'm guessing there are different challenges if there are?
Yes. Oh, challenges. There are more challenges than opportunities. This is the startup life. Well, with Bit Sentinel, it's challenging because you always have to have lots of employees to work, and being a service provider, it's every client it's different. You need to adapt. You need to understand the product when you test it. You need to explain a lot to the customer that you're not doing anything illegal. Everything it's very transparent. We're not keeping anything. Everything we do, it's a bit challenging because cybersecurity is very, let's say, delicate, because we need to go through all the systems and understand a little bit in order to test it. So for a client, the trust element is very, very important, and we always try to explain very much that everything is perfectly safe, and it's best if we test it under these circumstances than a hacker, and then you lose everything, and oh my God, it's not a good thing. So I think this trust component, it's a very big issue for, an important issue for when talking to customers, when building, and when growing the startup, and also finding the right people because you need to have experts that are used to also manual test the infrastructure, not only using scanners, because we do everything end to end. So clicking on the scanner and testing the infrastructure, it's not enough. You need to go deeper. And always the reports are very, very, very big and solid, because we couldn't find, and there isn't any bulletproof infrastructure. It's impossible. The only idea of cybersecurity is to make it difficult for hackers to go in, because a hacker, it's a hacker. He wants fast and go in, go out, and that's it. So what we are trying to do is to make sure that it's difficult to go in the infrastructure.
You mentioned trust, and do you think that it's an important key for any startup founder, or in any industry, not only in cybersecurity? Is trust something that you need in order, as a startup founder, in order to get clients, to get partners, to get investments?
Definitely. For any startup, no matter the industry. But in security, it's the top priority, because it's like when you go to the doctor. You choose the doctor when you have the good recommendations, when you're sure that the doctor, you can trust him to go with your life. It's the same with security, because you as a founder of, I don't know, an online company, you want to test. It's the same, you take your application to the doctor. Let's see what's wrong and what's not. So it's very important, the service provider offers you, he knows what he's talking about, he has the right people, and he can assure you that everything is it's safe and you're on the right hands. Otherwise, it's a bit tricky. But of course, in other startups and other industries, you need to have a good reputation. But in security, it's top priority. Everybody is how am I sure that you're not selling my data, because I am giving you access everywhere? And we're no, we are the good guys. Come on. We want to make sure that the data and the system you have is well protected and there aren't any loopholes.
How did you fund Bit Sentinel, its creation and later its development? What opportunities did you have?
With Bit Sentinel, it's both Bit Sentinel and CyberEDU is bootstrapped. We didn't raise any financing. What we did is the fact that companies and partners knew us beforehand because of DevCamp, and they trusted us. We like we organize DevCamp since 2011, so we have a bit of history of doing the right things. And with Bit Sentinel, it was something like normal because companies came to us at DevCamp. We need this partner in cybersecurity to provide cybersecurity services. So when we created Bit Sentinel, it was very easy to like come to us. And first time, of course, it was a bit, yeah, but you're small, you're just getting started. But once they see what we do, it's like easy to come back because we offer the whole package. And it's very important to like keep the business relationship open. So we are very, we are focused on having recurrent customers because it's a trust relationship, so you cannot trust one time and that's it. Then I will go to the other. Once you work with a cybersecurity company, you like to go again and again just to make sure that they already know the infrastructure, they already tested it once, so it's easier. Because in cybersecurity services, it's always a recurring side. You need to test your infrastructure at least once a year, so that's the ideal situation.
Did you build Bit Sentinel with the purpose of having international clients from the start, or to get international clients too, besides working with companies from Romania that need your services?
Yes. When you're just getting started, you think that you have the whole world because you're online. But once you go in business and you see that it's not that easy, you try to develop as much as possible locally to get like references and to make sure that you're doing the right things, because at the beginning it's a learning curve for everybody. And of course, when you have larger customers, it's much more easier for companies from outside Romania to trust you, because corporates are in every country, and when they see your portfolio, the one we can show, because in security you also have lots of limitations, it's easier for them to trust. And currently we have customers from the US, from Europe, many customers, and yeah, we're with Bit Sentinel and CyberEDU.
You've mentioned CyberEDU. You also train specialists for companies outside Romania. For whoever needs to have cybersecurity specialists, you can go and work with you guys.
Yes, actually, CyberEDU can be used in many different, can be used in many situations. And just to give you an example, besides education and training people, when the pandemic came and everything was online, it was very challenging to hire cybersecurity experts, because, okay, an online interview, it's not the same as bringing him in a room and see he can do solve challenges at the laptop, because it's a bit challenging. And during the pandemic, we worked with companies that wanted to hire experts, and they needed us to create exercises inspired from real life to make sure that that specific person knows how to test, how to solve the practical side of cybersecurity, and not only click on a scanner and yeah, I did my job. So it was used as recruiting platform, especially on the practical side, and we also use it currently and since then to test people online, to test their skills.
From your experience, also working and developing Bit Sentinel in 2015, and your prior experience as an event organizer, how did you see the Romanian startup ecosystem evolve during these years? Also, in general, but also with cybersecurity, on the cybersecurity side.
It changed a lot. When I first entered the startup world, I don't recall if there were any accelerators or incubators here in Romania. I don't think so. Back in 2011, 2013, no. There were events, small events, but not like companies getting involved and making sure that they like support founders and like be present. Besides innovation labs, I don't think there were any. So it was very, very challenging. Currently, we also with CyberEDU, we are part of Orange Fab. So they help us a lot because we are focusing on, at this point, to getting customers, not that interested in in financing, in getting financing. So it's very important for us to have strong partners like Orange and other companies to support us and to like offer the good reputation. And currently, there are many events. Also, How to Web is a very important like pillar in the Romanian startup ecosystem. They bring everything here, everyone. So I think currently, if you want to launch a startup, it's much more easier than 10 years ago, much more easier.
What opportunities did you see at that point when starting Bit Sentinel? And what kind of opportunities do you see now in, like you said, in starting your own business?
Well, I will speak on cybersecurity industry because this is my field. Back then, I think there were like 2 or 3 small companies in cybersecurity. So it's when you see the need, you come with a solution. So it was a very urgent need to create more startups. Currently, it depends a lot on what you are trying to cover. And what we see in other startups, it's that it's challenging because everybody wants to be part of a cybersecurity company or to buy a cybersecurity company, because now everything is digital, everything is online. And since Romania became the center of the European Cybersecurity Competence Center, like all the financing, everything comes here. So big companies want to buy small companies to make sure that they have a piece of the pie. So right now it's very challenging to like stay on your own feet and focus on growing, because when you have so many companies that are trying to, okay, we want to buy you, how can we do? We are not interested, not just yet. Wait a few more years. It's challenging, but we see lots of companies being bought locally. So it's a good thing. It's a good start, I think, for security locally. And everybody knows that Romanians are very talented in cybersecurity.
How did you see the funding opportunities back then and now with the new project for startups? Why did you choose to work only with clients and get paid for your work from clients and not go to, I don't know, angels or VCs, or to get other types of funding for you?
Well, with Bit Sentinel, being a service provider, it was kind of difficult, not to say impossible, to go to a VC or an angel and ask for financing, because you don't have a product, you don't have anything to show. You can show yourself and make sure that the person in front of you trusts you somehow. So we say, okay, let's start building our own things to make sure that we learn on the way, and at some point we will create a product and we will see how can we go also on the financing side. This is with Bit Sentinel. With CyberEDU on the other side, CyberEDU was launched in 2020. So it was much more easier to say. Because once we launched, we entered the Orange Fab Accelerator, and they helped us so much. And also we applied for a pan-European program, and we received almost 200K euros. So it helped us a lot to develop and to make sure we have the proper resources to move forward. And also on the promotion side, because it was something like a European competition out of 300 startups. We reached both stages, and we scored the second best startup. So it was very important for us to have these results. But we also worked like crazy for 1 year to make sure that we organize everything and we develop everything to be more user-friendly.
Do you consider going after other sources of funding now at this point in the development of both sides of the business?
Yes, we currently are looking to also for European funding, because it's something that we've seen that we can do, and it's like you have full control on what you're doing, so it makes us feel more more safe, and like to make sure that everything goes smooth.
What do you think that is missing, and what do you think that Romanian investors should do more when working with startups? You said that for you it was, let's hope that someone trusts us, again with again the trust element. What do you think that is missing? What made you not choose to go to a Romanian investor?
Well, I believe that you need to feel when you need, like, you want to sell part of the company, because you lose control, and not lose control, but you don't feel like you have your own garden and you do whatever you want. So you need to make sure that you're ready for what will come next. With Bit Sentinel, Andrei has some other people in the company, so at some point we needed funding. But with CyberEDU, we try to grow it to make sure that we take the platform and the idea and the startup on the right direction. And being a very oriented towards education is very important to have the right team behind it. Otherwise, okay, tomorrow someone will buy it and it will be buried. And no, and we don't want that. So we are trying to make sure that everything is very structured and to grow it like on the very healthy way.
What's good and what's bad about Romanian startup founders from your own experience?
Well, I think founders currently grew a lot, so they talk to each other. But I believe Romanians are very competitive, and they don't really, sometimes they don't help each other, because we are in the same boat, everybody. So, and depending a lot right now in security, for instance, it's very challenging to keep the people in your company, because you don't afford to like offer the same salaries as corporations. So it's a little bit frustrating when you take the student, you teach him, you train him with everything, he stays with you for 2-3 years, and then a corporation comes and, okay, take so much money you cannot refuse. And we are like, we cannot fight this. And with other startups as us, it's a bit challenging. Like with some we are friends, with others they try to steal our employees. It's like we never get bored.
From your perspective as a startup founder, how do you think that our startup ecosystem will evolve, let's say, during the next 5 or 10 years? Where do you think that we're heading? Again, taking into consideration everything that you've seen along these years.
I've seen that people are getting started earlier, like with programs as innovation labs. They're somehow drawn to this idea of being a startup founder. Of course, it's good and bad in the same time, because being so young, you don't really see the full picture of what you should do or what will come next. But I believe right now there are so many opportunities. You just need to focus and on finding the right team to grow your idea. And right now there are so many like huge corporations that offer you guidance, and so many mentors and angels, not only Romanians, but also from Poland, from Bulgaria, that come here in order to meet like young people fresh with new ideas that want to build startups. So I think you have much more opportunities right now, but being so many opportunities is also challenging to choose from. So it depends a lot. If you want to like choose this path, you definitely can. And also in security, together with Orange at DevCamp, we try to like encourage people to create their cybersecurity startup, because in security you need so many products that aren't built yet, and every time it's best to have a security person like in the whole picture as a founder, just to make sure that the product is good, because you cannot create a security product if you don't know security. It's almost impossible. You can, but it won't be a good one.
Do you think that for you, for Bit Sentinel and for CyberEDU, was it easier or harder to start from Romania? Do you think that you would have had other opportunities or another trajectory if these projects started from outside Romania? From Germany, okay.
Definitely, yes. Romania, doesn't have such a good reputation in outside Romania, so it depends a lot on the location you start your company. For us, it was good and bad. It was good because everybody knows that Romania is a good like center for cybersecurity talents. Everybody wants to hire people from Romania. But it was bad because they were scared that we are a very illegal company that want to steal their solution. So like an organized hacker community. But I think in the end, it depends a lot on what you're trying to do and on how you position yourself. Doesn't matter where you're from. So yeah, if we were from Germany, it was much more easier. But even from Romania, we took it step by step, and currently we work with customers from all over the world.
What do you think that is, let's say, our secret ingredients as Romanians, as Romanian startup founders? What makes us different and unique in this larger ecosystem in the region and even in Europe as a whole?
We are very ambitious, like very ambitious, and we are not scared of challenges. I don't know if this has something to do with the Romanian school. You do bits and parts of everything. But I've seen that Romanians are very like focused. When they want something, they like fight for it. For other nationalities, they struggle a lot, they complain a lot. But Romanians, when they want to do something, they focus and they get things done, no matter the nights lost or things like that. So they're very driven. Of course, not all of them, but most of them there are.
What's next for you, for both Bit Sentinel and CyberEDU, during the next few months of this year and in 2024?
For Bit Sentinel, we will continue to grow, of course, and right now we are focusing on growing outside Romania. And for CyberEDU, we have so many things going. Like currently we are preparing for the European Cybersecurity Challenge. We are partners there, and the online qualification phase was on CyberEDU. And in August, there will be the bootcamp for the competition. So all the team is very focused on creating the environment and everything. And of course, after this, we will continue with CyberEDU with another project we've won through the European Cybersecurity Competence Center, and we'll start in autumn. Then all the hacking village from DevCamp, everything will be online on CyberEDU. And during this part, we also host Unbreakable Romania on CyberEDU, which is an education program to introduce cybersecurity more early in the education of high school students and also university. We have so many partners, universities that are interested to use CyberEDU as like to cover the practical side of cybersecurity because they don't have resources with the teachers. You need a specific ecosystem. So we also are working like nonstop to onboard so many universities from Romania and also outside, and to grow the user database because everybody is interested. And of course, this competition side is very important because hackers are very competitive, and they like solve challenges and train themselves. But when they see a competition with a prize, like I need to be the first on the leaderboard. So we always try to also offer this competitive environment. And when we don't have any competition like coming, we organize a short one to make sure that they stick engaged on the platform.